Okay, I'm Paul Harris. I'm a downtown business owner in Red Deer, Alberta. I'm also a city councilor. I moved here to Red Deer about 21 years ago from Calgary. My background is pretty much all been in community development, and I've used retail and the arts as a vehicle to create social change. Thanks very much for the opportunity to do this video. I'm hoping that we can do this regularly after council meetings to give folks that are watching insight into what's happening at City Council. One of the most exciting things right now for us is the writing of the strategic plan. City Council has just adopted it, and it's really the first time in the history of the City of Red Deer that I know of that the City Council has written their own strategic plan, and then that material, which is all the soundings from the citizens through the election, through emails, through Facebook, and all of those places, that material was used to craft the strategic plan, which then is passed on to administration, and administration will use that work in order to craft charters and service plans as the community starts to change. Red Deer, when I moved here 21 years ago, was a smaller town. I think there was about 60,000 people that lived here at that time, and my partner and I really felt strongly that it needed to express itself more culturally, and there needed to be more opportunities here, and that's one of the reasons that we opened Sunworks, was to try to make a change in the downtown. Now, we've been here 12 years, and during that time this store really has been a catalyst to change Ross Street, and certainly it's starting to come into its own now with the building of Veterans Plaza and the Executive Tower, which now has new tenants in it, and now we're seeing Gates Avenue upgrades, and of course the parking has been in, and we've seen Donald School of Business opening. All of these interesting things are starting to happen, and it's all a culmination of a lot of work from a lot of different people. But when we started, we thought somebody needs to wade in to the waters and try to make a difference, and try to bring something that really the citizens of Red Deer were asking for a long time. When we started our store, we started at the farmers market, and we went for 2 seasons, and everybody there said, "We love what you're doing, would you open a retail outlet?" And so that's what got us going. One interesting aspect of our store is the Harris Work Gallery, and it's kind of got an interesting story. About 8 years ago, a number of artists were coming in, not connected to one another. They were just appearing in the store saying, "There's no place in this city for us to show our art. Do you know where we can go? Or would you take it?" And of course, we're primarily a retail store. We didn't have an art space. That room in the back was a stock room. And one day we woke up, and I thought, you know, if the next artist that comes in here, will say to them, "If you want to turn this into a gallery, then we'll provide you the materials, we'll staff it, we'll keep the lights on, but you need to do the work and the adjudication and all of the things about the arts that we don't really know." We would do the retail part, and they could do the construction part and the adjudication. And so Elle came in, and I think it was about October of that year, and she was immediately interested, organized a little committee, and within 2 months they had the gallery up and running, and it's been running this way as a committee of independent artists for 8 years. And so we don't do any of the adjudication work. All we do is exactly what we committed to, which is to keep the lights on, staff it, and make sure that the space is available for artists to do their thing. To me, it's a great opportunity for them. They get new customers that they would never have seen before because of being connected to the retail store. And it's a great opportunity for us because people come to the gallery to experience that art, and they wouldn't have set foot in the store otherwise. So it's a really nice arrangement between the two of us. So about in 2006, the City of Red Deer put a request out for consultants to work on developing a culture vision for the City of Red Deer. I applied for that with 2 of my colleagues, and over the next 2 years we interviewed a number of people in the community, in fact hundreds of people in the community, about the most powerful experiences they had in their lives around the arts and culture, and how that influences quality of life and well-being. Through that experience, we were able to identify 4 community values that Red Deer holds clearly, and we were able to identify a number of opportunities that Red Deer has as we make change in the future. The document, the culture, vision, and direction, is something that has been adopted by City Council and is being used by City Council and administration in helping to articulate and express the identity of the people that live here. One of the most interesting things for me is philosophy, and I've been very active recently, and actually for the last number of years, around community change and how community change happens. I've recently attended a conference in Copenhagen about community change, and it's really important for me to get the message out to people that we will, as a community, move in the direction in which we inquire. So the questions that we ask, the thinking that we do, we actually move in that direction. And to me, it's about how we frame things. If we don't frame things correctly, we will get the result that we don't want. So if we get all frustrated and worked up over crime stats, for example, we will actually make that worse. But if we get all worked up and excited about how our community quality of life could improve and how we could do amazing things in the future, we'll actually move in that direction, and that result will actually reduce crime. So it's a way we frame things that's really important, and I wanted to just share that philosophically with you because it's an important part of who I am. So over the last few years, it seems to be more frequent that people were coming to me saying, you need to be in politics and you need to be on our city council. And I resisted that for a number of years, I think 3 elections actually, and the last one, one of my really trusted colleagues came to me and said, we really want you to do this, you should do this. And so I made the decision to go ahead, and it's been a brilliant time actually, and I really could see the difference and the reasons I needed to do it. I was doing so much work from the outside, both as a consultant and as a community leader, but I was realizing that the things that I was doing were reaching almost a wall when they reached administration and reached city council, and that I really needed to go inside the organization and pull from the inside rather than push from the outside. So that's what made me think about running, and I kept hearing from the community over and over that the city was not listening to the citizens, and I felt much the same way. And so I thought to myself that one of the key messages that I would bring as a councillor was to make sure that we had open and honest communication and dialogue with all of the citizens, and that we tried to provide a window into what is going on in the city and why things are happening, and also provide an opportunity for people to give input and bring their best ideas forward so that we can make the change for our community that will help it be sustainable in the future. One of the questions that I get asked from time to time is, who's influenced me politically? And I guess my answer has always been that I'm really not a politician, I'm a community activist, and I will remain a community activist. And I think the moment that I slip from that position to being a politician is the moment I shouldn't be there anymore.